Imagine your mind as a private cinema, its velvet curtains drawn back only for you, where every silent thought becomes a flickering scene that shapes your reality. In that hidden theater, you are both playwright and director, crafting intimate moments meant only for your eyes. And yet these moments possess a strange and wondrous power beyond your solitary experience. When you sit quietly each night and conjure a vision of you and your specific person, sharing a meaningful glance, the simple act of imagination transforms into an invitation that reverberates through the unseen world of their consciousness. Visualize this. You and your specific person meet beneath a canopy of soft golden light, the air warm with promise. You feel the gentle weight of their hand in yours, notice the subtle rise and fall of their breath, and catch the sparkle in their eye as they smile in recognition of your deepest self. It may be only 30 seconds of mental play, but in that fleeting scene you weave an emotional tapestry so rich it touches the core of your being. Your heart beats in unison with the image, sending waves of warmth and certainty through every fiber of your awareness. This vivid movie you create is no idle fancy. It is a direct communication to the part of you that governs creation, the reservoir of power that silently molds the fabric of your life. Every detail matters: the color of their clothing, the softness of the breeze, the whispered words that pass between you. When you breathe life into these particulars, your subconscious mind accepts the scene as fact. It cannot distinguish between what you experience outwardly and what you envision with sincere feeling. By engaging all your senses in this inner drama, you bypass the critical voice that often doubts or dismisses, and you speak directly to the fertile ground of possibility. In doing so, you plant a seed not just in your own psyche, but in the silent landscape of your specific person's inner world. Consider how you feel after watching a powerful film. You carry its emotions with you long after the credits roll. You laugh, you cry, you sit in reflective awe, and those feelings linger. The same principle applies to your nightly imaginings. When you immerse yourself fully, you imprint emotions so potent they refuse to dissipate. These impressions become the blueprint your subconscious follows to manifest experiences in your physical life. As you play this scene each night, you are effectively rehearsing the reality you wish to see unfold. Your subconscious mind, ever obedient, begins to align your thoughts, habits, and even external circumstances to match the internal script you've provided. Now, imagine that your specific person, in their own hidden theater, is crafting a parallel scene, a moment of mutual connection mirroring your own. Though you cannot see their private imaginings, a beautiful symmetry forms. Two minds, separated by distance and circumstance, reach toward the same image of unity. In that shared resonance, an invisible bridge is built, woven from the threads of your combined expectations and feelings. This bridge, though unseen, guides your lives closer until the outer world reflects the inner harmony you co-created. When doubts or impatience arise, they act like static on this delicate frequency you're transmitting. Yet you have the power to clear the airways. If anxious thoughts intrude, what if they aren't thinking of me? Or maybe this is all wishful thinking. Pause and gently revise. Return to your mental cinema and adjust the scene, strengthening the emotional core. Perhaps you deepen the look in their eye, extend the warmth of your embrace, or add a tone of laughter that chases away uncertainty. In this act of revision, you reaffirm the truth of your desired moment, and your subconscious mind happily replays the corrected version until it becomes the dominant narrative. This process is not a one-time event, but a practice of persistence. Each night you revisit the scene, your conviction grows. Each repetition builds momentum, much like the tapping of a drumbeat that draws all attention to its rhythm. Over time, this drumbeat becomes undeniable, echoing in both your subconscious and that of your specific person. The unseen world responds to consistency. Imagine a compass needle that, no matter how you spin it, always settles, pointing true north. Your steadfast imagination points the way toward your shared destiny. In this elegant interplay between your private imaginings and the force of co-creation, patience is your trusted companion. You do not demand immediate proof, you simply trust in the unseen mechanics of your creative power. During the day, carry a quiet confidence in your posture and demeanor, as though the reunion you've envisioned is already unfolding. This acting as if communicates to the world that you belong to a different reality, one where you and your specific person move toward each other with ease and grace. Remember, too, that gratitude is the final brushstroke on your inner canvas. Before sleep, give thanks for the invisible dance of energies bringing you closer together. Feel genuine appreciation for the warmth you've imagined. as if you've already received that tender connection. Gratitude magnifies your inner scene, saturating it with light, and signals to the subconscious mind that this experience is both cherished and inevitable. As the days pass and you remain faithful to this practice, you may notice subtle shifts, a chance encounter that feels guided, a message appearing when least expected, or a shared memory resurfacing with new warmth. These glimpses serve as gentle reminders that your imagination is at work, orchestrating events beyond the veil of the obvious. Trust each nudge, each synchronicity as confirmation that your specific person is indeed being drawn into the same creative vision you hold. In the sanctum of your mind's theater, you wield a profound tool, the power to script reality through heartfelt imagination. By diligently crafting that first scene rich with sensory detail, emotion, and unwavering faith, you set into motion the wheel of manifestation. You become the silent architect of mutual attraction, composing a narrative so compelling that it cannot help but play out in both your world and theirs. Keep the vision alive, keep the feeling vibrant, and let the hidden theater of consciousness bring your desires into the light of day. Each emotion you nurture in the quiet chambers of your heart is like a brushstroke on the canvas of your reality, painting scenes that your subconscious mind reads as truth. When you intentionally cultivate feelings of longing, joy, or gratitude toward your specific person, you send out a powerful signal, one that bypasses logical thought and goes straight to the creative core of your being. Rather than seeing emotion as a byproduct of circumstance, recognize it as the scriptwriter behind every event you experience. The warmth you conjure, the flutter of anticipation, the sweet relief of imagined reunion, all of these feelings serve as direct commands to the part of you that quietly arranges outer conditions to reflect inner convictions. Notice how each time a cherished memory of togetherness surfaces, you feel a gentle rush of affection, as though you're re-entering that moment again. In that instant, you're not merely recalling history. You're reactivating the vibrational pattern that first brought you together. Your body responds, your heart rate lifts, your cheeks flush, a subtle smile plays on your lips. And these physiological changes reinforce the emotional tone you wish to sustain. When you lean into that sensation, you strengthen the invisible bridge connecting you to your specific person. The body, mind, and spirit conspire in perfect harmony to echo back the feelings you choose to dwell upon. Scientific studies in psychoneuroimmunology have shown that our emotional states influence not only our hormones and neurotransmitters, but also our external behavior and the way others perceive us. When you carry an undercurrent of genuine joy or peaceful expectancy, you radiate an energy that others, especially your specific person, can unconsciously register. This isn't mystical speculation. It's simply the language of subtle influence. As you feel appreciation for their presence in your life even before you see physical proof, your posture softens, your tone brightens, and you become magnetic in the truest sense. To harness this dynamic, begin by setting aside a few moments each morning and evening to focus purely on feeling. Find a comfortable seat, close your eyes, and breathe slowly, allowing tension to melt away. Then summon an image of your specific person and imagine the happiness you share as if it were unfolding now. Listen for the timbre of their voice, sense the warmth of their gaze, and feel the echo of laughter bouncing between you. More than visual detail, attend to the emotional nuance, the gentle buoyancy in your chest, the effortless smile, the calm assurance that you belong together. Hold that feeling steadily without rushing to an external outcome, and trust that the sustained emotion is already weaving its magic behind the scenes. Whenever anxiety or doubt creeps in, perhaps triggered by distance or silence, pause and gently pivot back to your chosen emotion. Acknowledge the thought, I wonder if they care, then consciously shift the focus to the feeling you prefer. I feel cherished and valued. This practice of emotional redirection trains your inner world to favor constructive patterns over uncertainty. Over time, your subconscious mind learns that gratitude and affection are your operating system, and it automatically sets up circumstances to support that baseline. You become an emotional alchemist, transforming fleeting wishes into permanent ways of being. Throughout your day, sprinkle brief reminders of this emotional practice. A whispered phrase under your breath, I am so grateful for our connection. A fleeting mental image during a pause at work, or a soft smile at the thought of their name. These micro investments of feeling act like deposits into the bank of your subconscious, Each deposit increases your balance of positive emotion, making it more likely that your specific person's awareness will resonate with the same vibration. Their thoughts, gestures, or even chance encounters may then mirror the harmonious energy you've cultivated within. Remember that feelings are contagious. When you consistently exude warmth and genuine care, you create an invisible ripple effect. Even if your specific person is unaware of the internal work you're doing, they will sense a shift in your presence, an intangible quality of ease and authenticity that draws them closer. This subtle magnetism transcends words. It operates in a realm beyond logic, where human hearts respond to pure frequency. In this way, feeling becomes both the message and the messenger, silently carrying your deepest intentions straight to the core of another soul. Finally, as you deepen in this practice, maintain a light-hearted curiosity. Treat each feeling exercise as an experiment in creative living, rather than a desperate plea for results. Delight in the simple pleasure of feeling love, gratitude, or joy, irrespective of external validation. This playful attitude not only makes the process more enjoyable, but also prevents performance anxiety from clouding your imaginative efforts. When you approach your inner work with genuine enthusiasm, you reinforce the truth that creation is meant to be effortless and enlivening. In the rich tapestry of your emotional landscape, every thread you weave with intention contributes to the grand design of your relationship. By consciously choosing to feel the presence and affection of your specific person day after day, moment by moment, you co-author a story that both your inner and outer worlds will eventually enact. Trust the invisible mechanics at play. Your feelings are the silent command signals that orchestrate every unfolding scene. Embrace this power with open arms, and you will witness how the simple, heartfelt act of feeling becomes the most profound tool for bringing two hearts together. Imagine a slender, invisible thread extending from your heart across the silent expanse that separates you from your specific person, weaving its way through time and circumstance until it reaches theirs. This slender filament is the power of imagination at work, a bridge built without bolts or beams, yet capable of spanning the greatest distances of space and mind. Each night, when you close your eyes and deliberately paint a brief, vivid scene, perhaps of their voice greeting you warmly as you enter a sunlit room, or the gentle brush of their hand on your cheek, you're not indulging in fanciful daydreams, but laying the very planks of that bridge, one sensory-rich detail at a time. Notice how, when you sit quietly and call forth such an image, your muscles soften, your breathing deepens, and your mind settles into a state of receptive calm. This physiological response is no accident. It signals to every cell in your body that what you're imagining is important, worth believing in. Your subconscious mind, ever attentive to the emotional weight of your thoughts, receives these nightly scenes as if they were recorded realities, written poetry. It archives the sights, the sounds, the textures, and the feelings, then sets about translating them into the language of experience. In this way, your inner world and outer circumstances begin to align, like two dancers moving in perfect harmony to a silent melody only they can hear. Crafting these mental scenes need not be an arduous ritual. In fact, the simpler and more natural it feels, the more effectively it commands attention behind the scenes. Choose a moment of your day when the mind is least cluttered, perhaps just before sleep or during a brief pause in a busy morning, and spend no more than 30 seconds weaving your scene. Picture that glowing smile of recognition when your specific person sees you across a crowded cafe. Hear the inner tone of surprise and delight in their voice. Sense the warmth of their presence as if it were a gentle glow surrounding you. Add one sensory garnish, a soft breeze, the scent of coffee, or the muted hum of city life. And then let the image rest, held in place by the sincerity of your feeling. As you grow accustomed to this practice, you'll notice that your imagination becomes increasingly adept at filling in the blanks. At first, you may lean heavily on the visuals, the exact hue of a sunset sky or the curve of their lips. Over time, you'll discover that the emotional tone is the key ingredient. How your heart flutters at the thought of their nearness. The steady core of confidence that you both share this unseen moment. When the feeling anchors the scene, every minor detail falls into place naturally, guided by the creative intelligence of your own subconscious. There will be nights when resistance surfaces. Perhaps you feel too tired, distracted, or skeptical. Rather than forcing yourself into a full mental production, simply return to the kernel of the practice. A single simple phrase that embodies your desired reality. Something like, "We share a glance of joyful reunion," repeated softly in your mind, can be enough to set the bridge in motion. Even this whispered phrase, saturated with hope and expectation, carries weight. Your imagination responds to intention more than to volume. A quiet but unwavering thought can travel farther and faster than a loud but shaky one. Over time, the bridge you construct in imagination begins to affect the way you walk through each day. You carry yourself with a subtle grace, an inner assurance that this imagined reunion is not fantasy but a pending reality. This acting as if influences both your behavior and how others respond to you. You speak with gentle confidence, smile with genuine warmth, and listen with full attention. Qualities that your specific person, even at an unconscious level, will pick up and mirror. The bridge you built in your mind becomes a magnet in the world, drawing them forward across the same invisible span. It is important to understand that imagination is not a solitary tool, but a shared resource when two minds aim toward the same vision. While you build your side of the bridge each night, trust that somewhere, perhaps in their own quiet moments, your specific person is engaged in a similar private rehearsal. Though you cannot see their efforts, the law that governs consciousness ensures that parallel imaginings of the same scene will converge like two radio transmitters tuned to the same station. Your intentions resonate on a frequency beyond physical senses, creating an energetic channel through which your hearts communicate. Patience is crucial as the bridge takes form. You may not see immediate evidence in texts or meetings, but the unseen architecture strengthens with each session of mental rehearsal. Imagine checking in on a construction site. You might not see new beams every day, but you trust the workers are reinforcing the structure behind the scenes. Similarly, each imagined scene you craft is another beam added to your bridge, another promise of sure passage. Maintain faith in the process, knowing that the unseen world operates with precision, even when its workings remain hidden from everyday perception. Finally, celebrate every small signal that arises. A friendly text, a sudden memory shared, or a chance meeting at an unexpected moment. These are the early tremors of your bridge settling into place. Acknowledge them with gratitude, for they indicate the bridge is now open to foot traffic. As you continue your nightly practice, that first stroll across the span will become inevitable. Your imagination, once thought to be merely the refuge of solitary fantasies, proves itself to be a powerful architect of shared reality, bringing two hearts together over a bridge built of vision, feeling, and unwavering belief. In the quiet moments of your day, while washing dishes, waiting at a red light, or sipping your morning tea, carry within you the knowing that your desire has already been fulfilled. This is not a wishful daydream, but a deliberate choice to inhabit the mental state of the outcome you seek, moment by moment. When you persist in this inner conviction, you align every cell in your body, every neural pathway in your brain, and every subtle gesture you make with the reality you wish to experience. Imagine yourself walking through the world as though you and your specific person are already woven together in the tapestry of life. Your shoulders are relaxed, your heart is light, and a gentle confidence ripples beneath your words. This persistent assumption becomes the backdrop of all your actions, subtly guiding your posture, infusing your tone of voice with warmth, and coloring your interactions with the unmistakable hue of expectation. Acting as if means more than mere positive thinking. It is a total immersion in the emotional and physical texture of your fulfilled desire. Picture stepping into a room and sensing their presence before you see them. Feel the brush of your own certainty, like a soft cloak draped around your shoulders, warding off doubt's chill. Each time you catch yourself slipping into worry or second guessing, gently redirect your attention to that inner state. Envision the smile you would share upon hearing their voice. Recall the subtle electricity of their glance, or remember the taste of shared laughter. In doing so, you repeatedly reinforce the assumption until it becomes your second nature. Over time, this habitual state shapes your subconscious expectations, and your external circumstances begin to mirror the inner conviction you hold. Our bodies bear witness to what we believe. When you carry the mental state of fulfillment, walking, talking, and simply being as though your specific person already stands by your side, you generate a vibrational echo that resonates far beyond your conscious awareness. Subtle changes ripple through your physiology. Your breathing deepens into calm rhythms. Your eyes carry a soft glow, and your muscles release tension you didn't even know you held. These shifts, though imperceptible to most observers, are palpable to the subconscious mind. It reads these signals, catalogs them as the natural way of your life, and orchestrates people, situations, and opportunities that harmonize with your newly embodied reality. In this way, persistence in assumption becomes the silent conductor of the symphony of your life, directing every note toward the melody of your desired outcome. Language itself transforms when you live in the end. Notice how you speak about your specific person and your relationship. Rather than saying, I hope we'll be together, you find yourself saying, when we meet, or now that we share this connection. These small shifts in phrasing are not merely semantics. They signal to your subconscious mind that the event is not a distant possibility, but a current reality. The words you choose act like keys that unlock new corridors of potential, and every time you speak or think in this way, you reinforce that the fulfilled state is your present truth. Over time, this consistent inner dialogue erases the barrier between imagination and experience, allowing you to move through each day as a living embodiment of your desired end. Decades of research in neuroscience confirm that repeated mental states reorganize brain pathways through a process called neuroplasticity. When you persistently assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, your brain begins to treat that state as habitual. Neurons that fire together wire together, creating a default mode of being that your body and mind accept as familiar. In practical terms, this means that the more you mentally rehearse the end result, feeling loved, cherished, and in harmonious union, the more natural and automatic those emotions become. You stop struggling upward against a current of doubt, and instead you flow effortlessly along the channel of your chosen reality. Your subconscious mind, ever faithful, works behind the scenes to bring circumstances into alignment with the state you have made your own. It is essential to integrate this practice seamlessly into your daily routine. You need not carve out hours of isolated meditation. Simple micro moments suffice. While brushing your teeth, imagine their face smiling at you. As you settle into bed, replay the scene of your perfect meeting one more time, sensing every nuance of warmth and recognition. Even as you walk down the street, imagine that every passerby's step echoes the footsteps of your specific person drawing nearer. These brief but potent laps of inner experience strengthen your assumption, like repeated notes played on a violin that build toward a powerful crescendo. The persistent resonance of these moments weaves through your subconscious until it becomes the soundtrack of your existence. When setbacks arise, perhaps a day without contact, a misunderstanding, or an unexpected obstacle, they serve not as proof that your assumption is flawed, but as invitations to deepen your inner resolve. In those moments, remind yourself that your outer senses do not define your reality. Your inner conviction does. Return to your imagined scene with fresh energy, infuse it with renewed feeling, and carry that state forward. Each time you do, you demonstrate to your subconscious mind that no external condition can sway your inner certainty. This unshakable stance becomes the hallmark of true mastery, for it transcends the ebb and flow of circumstances and anchors you firmly in the creative power of your own consciousness. Persistence in assumption is the heartbeat of manifestation. It is the steady drum that calls forth your specific person into the reality you share. By consistently living in the end, feeling, speaking, and acting as though your desire is already fulfilled, you become the living proof of your own creation. And as you move through each day with this inner assurance, you will notice subtle shifts. A message when you least expect it, a chance encounter on a familiar street, or a renewed warmth in a conversation. These are the tender manifestations of your unwavering assumption blooming into form. Stay vigilant, stay faithful, and let the power of persistent assumption carry you and your specific person into the reality you have already claimed. At the core of every successful act of co-creation lies a single unshakable truth. What you persistently assume in your inner world must eventually externalize in the outer. Imagine tending a small flame in a dark room. Each thought you feed with conviction, each moment you shield it from doubt allows that flame to burn brighter until it fills the space with light. In the same way, your steady, unwavering assumption of unity with your specific person kindles an inner fire that over time becomes impossible to ignore. It is not enough to glimpse the possibility now and then. You must choose, moment after moment, to live and breathe as though your mutual attraction is already a settled fact. You have likely noticed how fleeting thoughts, will they ever call, or am I fooling myself, can flicker through your mind like passing clouds. Yet if you allow even a single wisp of uncertainty to rest and grow, it dims the brilliance of your assumption. To guard against this, cultivate an inner posture of absolute certainty. Each morning, before the world's noise takes hold, take a deep breath and affirm silently, I know we are already united. Let these words settle into your bloodstream, carrying with them the weight of your conviction. When you enter conversations, whether with colleagues, friends, or your own reflection, carry the same undercurrent of certainty, as though you wear it like a calm cloak of belonging. Persisting in assumption shapes not only your thoughts, but also your physical habits. Have you ever noticed that people who feel confident tend to stand straighter, speak more clearly, and move with a certain ease? These subtle shifts in posture and tone are themselves messages broadcast to everyone around you, including your specific person. By habitually embodying the state of fulfillment, by breathing as though your heart already brims with reunion, by smiling as though recognition has already passed between you, you align your entire being with your desired outcome. This is not a forced performance, but a natural expression of the reality you choose to inhabit. True persistence does not demand endless, rigorous effort. In fact, it thrives in the seamless integration of assumption into everyday life. Picture yourself driving to work. You might glance at your reflection in a window, catch your own eyes and think, yes, we are together now. Perhaps you pause for a moment during lunch to close your eyes and feel the warmth of their hands in yours. These brief, seemingly insignificant pauses are the mortar between each brick of your assumed reality. Over time, they accumulate into an unbroken wall of faith, one that even the most stubborn circumstances cannot breach. When the world seems to contradict your assumption, when there is no text, no call, and no sign, you face the true test of persistence. Instead of reacting with frustration, view these moments as invitations to deepen your inner resolve. Recall a time when you first felt the spark of connection and let that memory swell within you. Reignite the feeling of their laughter in your ears, of their gaze finding yours in a crowded room. By revisiting that original spark, you reaffirm your commitment to the assumption rather than allowing outer silence to challenge your inner conviction. There is a profound neurological basis for this practice. Our brains are wired to solidify repeated mental states into long-term habits. Each time you return to the state of fulfilled assumption, you strengthen those neural pathways, making that state your default. Before long, your subconscious mind accepts this assumption as your natural baseline, and your behavior, speech patterns, and even choices begin to reflect it organically. You no longer have to remind yourself to feel certain. They become as automatic as breathing. In this way, persistence in assumption becomes effortless, carried forward by the momentum you've created. As the days turn into weeks, subtle evidence of your co-manifestation begins to surface. A friend mentions your specific person, a random memory of a shared moment pops into your mind, or an unexpected message arrives when you least expect it. Rather than dismissing these as coincidences, treat them as gentle nods from the universe, affirming that your inner assumption is taking root. Express gratitude for these small signs, for each one signals that the vibration you've maintained is weaving its pattern into physical form. Finally, persistence in assumption is more than mere mental exercise. It is a declaration of faith in the creative power within you. By choosing day after day to assume the fulfillment of your desire, you honor the silent wisdom of your own consciousness. You demonstrate that external evidence is not the master of your reality, you are. Keep your flame of conviction burning bright. Nurture it with deliberate thought and feeling, and trust that this unwavering assumption will guide your specific person and all of life into alignment with the beautiful vision you hold. There exists within you a quiet chamber of awareness, a sleeping self that listens to every impression you make, yet rarely protests or questions. This aspect of your being is neither the critical thinker nor the emotional reactor. It is the fertile soil that, when sown with vivid, heartfelt images, nurtures them into reality. Imagine a blank canvas, smooth and unspoiled. Whatever you choose to paint upon it, the canvas accepts without hesitation. In much the same way, your sleeping self absorbs the scenes you impress upon it each night, taking them as incontrovertible fact and setting to work behind the curtain of consciousness to manifest them in form. When you close your eyes and immerse yourself in the sensation of your specific person's presence, feeling the gentle pressure of their hand, the warmth of their smile, these impressions are recorded in that sleeping self as truths rather than as hopes. It does not debate the plausibility or scar its memory for evidence to the contrary. It simply registers the scene and aligns your thoughts, beliefs, and subtle behaviors to conform. Think of it like a trusted steward who, having received clear instructions, organizes every resource at his disposal to fulfill the task without question. This is the silent partnership you forge each time you engage in conscious imagining. You provide the directive, and your sleeping self orchestrates the unfolding. To awaken this receptive power, consistency is paramount. Sporadic or half-hearted efforts send confusing signals, like telling a painter to create a masterpiece, then switching to a doodle, then retreating in uncertainty. Instead, offer your sleeping self a clear, unwavering directive, a concise scene infused with sensory richness and emotional depth that you revisit nightly. The first time you do this, you plant a seed. Each subsequent time you water and tend it until the idea takes root so firmly that your inner gardener, your sleeping self, begins to nurture shoots of possibility in your everyday experiences. The process is remarkably simple. Choose a brief moment, no more than 15 to 30 seconds, where you and your specific person share a knowing glance, a soft exchange of gratitude, or a gentle moment of shared laughter. Feel the texture of the air against your skin, inhale the faint scent of their presence, hear the timbre of their voice. As you do this, direct your full attention to the scene, excluding all doubts and busy thoughts. In these concentrated bursts of imagination, you engrave the desired reality onto the receptive slate of your sleeping self, bypassing resistance and indifference. Over time, the sleeping self begins to treat these mental rehearsals not as fantasy, but as established fact. Like a computer running a background program, it silently executes the instructions you've provided, shaping your subtle behaviors, your choices, and even the seemingly random opportunities that come your way. You may find yourself more poised when you speak, more open in your gestures, and more confident in interactions. These outward shifts are the first fruits of your inner impressions. Your sleeping self, having accepted the seed of your imagination, deploys it through the myriad channels of your daily life until the external world aligns with your inner vision. It's important to recognize that the sleeping self does not operate on logic or evidence. It responds solely to the vividness and consistency of your inner narratives. A single, powerful scene can outweigh 100 fleeting doubts if you hold it with unwavering conviction. Consider the analogy of a child's bedtime story. No matter how many times you tell the tale, each listening session deepens its impression in the child's mind, shaping dreams and expectations. In the same way, your sleeping self leans into the frequency you supply regularly, organizing every nuance of your mental, emotional, and physical being to reflect that story back to you through lived experience. To reinforce these impressions, integrate simple rituals that signal to your sleeping self that this is your priority. Perhaps just before sleep, you lightly place a hand over your heart and whisper the essence of your scene. We share this joyous moment now. Before allowing the imagery to unfold unhurriedly, or during a brief midday pause, you close your eyes for a count of 10, recalling the warmth of their gaze as if it were happening in that moment. These habitual gestures serve as gentle reminders, ensuring the impressions are not lost in the busyness of life, but remain vibrant and active within the sleeping self. Occasionally, you may notice surprising synchronicities, a mutual friend reaching out to mention their name, a chance encounter that stirs the exact feeling you imagine, or a dream that echoes your practiced scene. These are the visible signs that your sleeping self has taken your instructions to heart and begun laying the groundwork in the outer world. Rather than seeing them as mere coincidences, celebrate each one as confirmation that the silent alliance between your conscious direction and your sleeping self is bearing fruit. Acknowledging these signs reinforces the partnership, encouraging the sleeping self to continue its diligent work. Even when doubts or setbacks arise, when external circumstances appear to contradict your inner vision, you can rely on the steadfast nature of your sleeping self. Return to your nightly scene with gentle determination, undeterred by what seems absent in waking reality. Remember that the sleeping self is untouched by the distractions of the day. Its canvas remains pure and receptive, ready to accept the renewed directive. By consistently reimpressing your chosen moment, you fortify the sleeping self's commitment, ensuring that no competing impressions can overtake your original intent. In the grand tapestry of manifestation, it is this partnership with your sleeping self that transforms imagination into reality. You, as the conscious architect, design the blueprint, Your sleeping self, as the faithful builder, erects the structure behind the scenes. Together, you bridge the gap between desire and fulfillment without drama or force. Simply through the quiet power of repeated, heartfelt impression. Embrace this process with patience and care, knowing that each intentional moment of imagination is a brick laid in the edifice of your lived experience, waiting only for time and consistency to reveal the full grandeur of your co-created reality. When you step into your daily life, imagine that you're already living in the fulfilled state you've rehearsed each night. Rather than clutching hope like a trembling bird in your palms, practice moving through your world as though your specific person's presence is already woven into every moment. Feel the lightness in your chest as you sip your morning coffee, carrying an unspoken certainty that each sensation, the warmth of the mug, the scent of the brew, the gentle hum of morning, echoes the warmth that waits in your shared connection. In this way, acting as if becomes more than a mere technique. It becomes the very breath by which you animate your inner world and align it with the outer. Notice how subtly your body responds when you carry this calm assurance. Your shoulders drop, your posture straightens, and your gaze softens with the knowledge that nothing in your environment can truly unsettle the bond you've already imagined. You speak to colleagues, friends, or even strangers with an undercurrent of ease, infusing your words with a warmth born of inner fulfillment. In every interaction, you carry the invisible signature of your assumed reality, a confident tone, a genuine smile, and an openness that invites others, including your specific person, to reflect the same ease back to you. As you navigate routine tasks, checking emails, waiting at traffic lights, or strolling through a park, carry a quiet awareness of your desired outcome. When a message pings on your phone, greet it with casual expectation rather than anxious longing. Even if it isn't the one from your specific person, let the moment remind you of your inner state. You are already cherished, already recognized, already united. This posture of expectancy trains your mind to interpret every stimulus, every event, through the lens of your imagined fulfillment. Over time, this lens becomes your default filter, coloring all experiences with the hues of confidence and grace. It means acting as if, also means aligning your behaviors and choices with the reality you wish to live. If you imagine a relationship built on mutual respect and joy, make decisions that reflect those values. Respond with kindness when challenged. Listen with full attention when spoken to, and offer support without hesitation. These actions are more than ethical choices. They are physical manifestations of the inner state you carry. Each time you embody the qualities of your fulfilled desire, you reinforce the bridge between imagination and experience, demonstrating to both yourself and your specific person that this reality is not only possible, it is your operating system. When moments of doubt arise, perhaps a day stretches long without a sign, or a memory of past disappointment surfaces, greet those thoughts with gentle compassion and then return to your posture of assumption. A simple inward phrase, such as, "I move through this day embraced by our connection," can lovingly redirect your focus. By meeting doubt not with resistance, but with understanding, you preserve your inner calm and reinforce the habit of acting as if. This practice of gentle redirection becomes the hallmark of emotional resilience, allowing you to maintain your chosen state even when external conditions seem to challenge it. Over weeks and months, the cumulative effect of this behavior reshapes your experience. Small shifts, a spontaneous smile from your specific person, an unexpected invitation, or a deepened conversation, begin to feel like natural extensions of your inner state rather than rare exceptions. You'll notice that obstacles dissolve more easily, as though the current of your confidence carries you around resistance rather than crashing against it. In this flow, your imagined fulfillment ceases to be a distant dream and becomes the living backdrop of every day. Ultimately, acting as if is an act of self-respect. It declares that your desires are worthy of your fullest attention, that your imagination is a sacred tool, and that you honor the power within you to shape your reality. By consistently inhabiting the state of fulfilled desire through posture, speech, behavior, and thought, you teach your subconscious mind that this is your chosen way of being. And as your outer world rearranges itself to match your inner conviction, you realize that the practice of acting as if was never an act at all, but the truest expression of who you already are. As the sun dips below the horizon and you prepare to close your eyes, let gratitude become the final brushstroke on the canvas of your day. Imagine the warmth of your specific person's presence as a gentle glow that lingers around your heart, illuminating even the quietest corners of your mind. As you settle into bed, allow a soft smile to rise on your lips, not from needing proof or external validation, but from a deep, abiding appreciation for the invisible currents that are weaving your shared reality. In this state of thankfulness, you affirm that the unseen forces you've activated through imagination and feeling are already at work, orchestrating events beyond your conscious view. Begin by drawing a slow, deliberate breath, feeling your chest expand with the life force of your own being. With each exhale, release the residue of doubt, worry, or expectation, trusting that those concerns have done their purpose in guiding you to this moment of restful awareness. Now, turn your focus inward to the glow of gratitude itself. Picture it as a soft golden light radiating from your heart center, pulsing gently in time with your breath. This light is the seal of your co-creation, the final affirmation that what you've imagined, felt, and assumed is already taking root in the fertile soil of the unseen. Gratitude is not merely a polite afterthought. It is the secret key that unlocks the final gate between desire and fulfillment. When you offer sincere thanks for the outcome you seek, as if it were already yours, you send a clear signal to your subconscious mind that the work is complete. There's no friction, no lingering hesitation. The moment you express appreciation, you align your vibration with the very frequency of realization. It's as though you have crossed an invisible threshold, and in that crossing, the blueprint you've drawn in imagination becomes the structure that supports your waking life. Consider how a gardener treats the seed after planting. Water, warmth, and gentle care follow the act of sowing. But the final secret is the nourishment that allows the seed to sprout. Gratitude is that nourishment. By mentally thanking the universe, your subconscious, and the forces that govern manifestation, you pour life-giving energy into the blueprint of your desire. This energy flows through every neural pathway, every cell in your body, and every subtle gesture of your being, affirming that your specific person's return or your shared moment of connection is not a far-off promise, but an imminent reality. To practice this, end each day by speaking or thinking a short phrase of genuine thanks. I am so grateful that we are harmonized now. Or, thank you for the growing bond we share. Feel the weight of each word as it settles into your awareness. Notice how your body responds. A softening around the eyes, a lightness in the chest, perhaps even a small shiver of joy. These sensations are the physical echo of your inner alignment. They confirm that the emotional signature of gratitude has been recorded deep within your subconscious, ready to influence every dream you dream tonight. As you drift into sleep, allow your last waking thoughts to be suffused with this feeling of gratitude. Imagine yourself already reunited, expressing thanks to your specific person for the sparkle in their eyes or the warmth of their embrace. Let the imagined words of gratitude mingle with your own breath, a gentle loop of thanks that carries you into the realm of dreams. In sleep, your subconscious mind works most freely, weaving the impressions you've given it into the tapestry of your life. By closing the day with gratitude, you place a guiding star at the center of that tapestry, ensuring that every thread aligns with the pattern you've chosen. Over the coming days, pay attention to the subtle harmonies that arise. Perhaps you'll awaken with a bright thought of your specific person even before your feet hit the floor. Maybe you'll notice a friendly message waiting for you or a serendipitous meeting in an unexpected place. These invitations from reality are the universe's way of saying, your gratitude has been heard. The transformation is unfolding. When these moments appear, pause and recognize them as the fruits of your inner practice. Thank yourself for your consistency and thank the unseen forces that guide you, reinforcing the cycle of co-creation. It's also helpful to maintain a simple gratitude journal. Each morning or evening, jot down 1 or 2 specific reasons you feel grateful for the connection you're building. Keep the focus on feelings and experiences rather than outcomes. I am grateful for the sense of peace that fills me when I think of us, rather than I am grateful they texted me. This nuance anchors your practice in the realm of emotion, which has the power to shape external events far more swiftly than mere wishes. Over time, your journal becomes a living testament to the fidelity of your inner world, reminding you that the foundation of your desire has been firmly laid. In moments when impatience nudges at your resolve, let gratitude serve as your compass. Recall a small synchronicity from the past week, a dream that hinted at your shared reunion, a passing conversation that brought your specific person to mind, or a wave of warmth that surprised you. Reflect on that instance with genuine appreciation, letting the memory rekindle the flame of trust. And by doing so, you shift your focus from absence to presence, from yearning to acknowledging the subtle evidence that your imagination is at work. Finally, remember that gratitude is not a finish line, but a continual practice. A gentle, loving cycle that begins with imagination, is fueled by feeling, sustained by assumption, and sealed by thanks. Each night, as you drift into sleep, be the grateful architect of your own destiny, resting in the certainty that every scene you've crafted through your inner work is weaving itself into the fabric of your life. In time, you will awaken not to longing, but to the joyful reality you first dreamed, greeted by your specific person in the unmistakable warmth of co-created love. And so, from the silent cinema of your mind to the soft glow of gratitude at day's end, you've learned how to script the reality you desire, first by envisioning that cherished moment, then by infusing it with heartfelt emotion, by building an invisible bridge of imagination, by living every day in the certainty of its fulfillment, by revising doubts into renewed conviction, by impressing the scene upon your receptive self, by walking through life as if the reunion has already occurred, and finally by sealing it all with genuine thanks. Each step flows into the next, forming a seamless current of creation that carries your specific person toward you as surely as night follows day. Remember that your mind's eye is the workshop of destiny, and your feelings are the tools. It's through your steady practice and unwavering faith that the unseen becomes your everyday experience.